Shabbat Shalom and greetings to you all. Now, I hope you're all still enjoying your apples and honey. You want to usher in a sweet and plentiful year, and I know you all will be. Now, there's still time to ensure you're entered in the book of life also, and to make whatever improvements in yourself that you think are necessary. There's always time. And if you miss the 10 days, you do not have to wait another year for it to come around again. You do not know when you will be moved to examine, to change, to improve. But you will be moved. So go with the flow, and whenever it strikes you, feel free. Now, as we progress through the 10 days of awe, the Yamim Noraim, which ends with Yom Kippur, what we refer to as the Day of Atonement or at one-ment, because we are all at one with the universe. And therefore we're at one with each other. Any hurt we have caused, physical or emotional, has simply hurt ourselves. So this is the time for us to all come together. He bagged production, he got. Walrus gumboot, he got. Oh no, sideboard, he won. Spinal cracker, he got. Feet down below his knee. Hold you in his armchair, you can feel his disease come together right now over me. So let us come together, my friends, and welcome everybody we know as family, a community of like-minded, like-souled individuals in search of unification of spirit, the collective consciousness of seekers, enjoying a faith, of love, a community, a chavura, a fellowship, expressing our nature of kindness, compassion, thoughts, feelings, hopes, dreams, and wishes that unites us all in this community, house of spirit, Beth Ruach. So once again, please do go ahead and invite everybody you know, physically, psychically, emotionally, or spiritually, to gather and share from Psalm 133, the Hine Matov, come together. Hine Matov, Shevet Achi Gam Yam, Hine Matov, how good, how pleasant it is for brothers and sisters together. Community, 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 together. And as a community, my friends, let us all spread love, goodwill, and fellowship to the world. Remember, friends, this is just sending out some of the goodwill that we all generate. We do all generate it. We're sending it out to the universe where it'll do the most good. Whether it's on the Sabbath or not. Remember, Sabbath's not Saturday. It's simply a day of ceasing. Whatever day it is, it's a day to spend time with family, with friends, with loved ones, or even just with self, learning who you are. And we have that brief chance to both praise and imitate God, creation, life itself. We've just celebrated the most enigmatic of the Jewish holidays. And that seems odd, because everybody knows Rosh Hashanah is the beginning of the year. But for every other biblically noted holiday, we know what it's about and why. For this one, we know nothing. Just hear the sound of the ram horn. The idea of making it the new year came much later. Even for Yom Kippur, we have a pretty good idea of what it's about. We call it the Day of Atonement. But Kippur is from the Hebrew kapara, which means cleansing. It is the day of our spiritual cleanse. A self-examination takes time, and it takes effort. If we weren't doing it before, and probably most of us weren't, Rosh Hashanah served as the kickstart, the wake-up call, to seek and to grant forgiveness, leading up to Yom Kippur. But Yom Kippur is the seal on what has been accomplished. So continue using these days to fix yourself, to make amends, to be the bigger person, and to tell the people who have meaning in your life that they do. Otherwise, how will they ever know? I know you're sitting there saying they know. Well, they may not know. Do not guess. So make sure they know. And you all mean a lot to me, so I want you all to know that. Now, I know you've all been working on your forgiveness mechanism. Forgiveness is a part of love. Now, you still have time to think about it. Who do you need to forgive? Sometimes, friends, we let ourselves be too judgmental. And being judgmental can stand in the way of forgiveness. And sometimes it's our fear, particularly our fear of vulnerability, that gets in the way. So today, try and allow that magical presence to bestow forgiveness in your heart. It is one of the greatest, least used gifts of God. We're so busy with the need to find peace in a troubled world. And in so doing, it's important to cultivate compassion for ourselves before we can just extend it to others. When we're willing to surrender to our utter helplessness and smallness, real strength and the capacity to transform an unjust situation can emerge. Let yourself feel these feelings course through your veins. And this, of course, is the perfect time to invoke blessings and healing and renewal for everyone, everywhere. For everybody you know. For the souls and spirits of everybody you know. So think whoever. Focus on them. Call their names. It's not just for people. It's for our pets. It's for the earth. It is the healing of the world. The tikkun olam that's part of our spiritual genetic makeup. Friends, the world is a work in progress, which is why we are obligated to fix it by fixing ourselves. This is the real meaning of tikkun olam. So let's send some renewal, some healing and goodwill for Tali, for Donnie, for Robert, for Joanne, for Dan, Bob, John, Karen, for Tony, for Alex, and for Devorah. And of course, my friends, renewal for all of you, because you need renewal too. It is the kindness, healing, wishes, goodwill, and love we all send out that circles the world, finding those in need. So thank you, each of you, for all you do, for all you care, because the world is a world of spirit, and spirit, my friends, never dies. Avocated, Makor HaBracha, Limotated, may the source of strength bless the ones before us, help us find the courage, make our lives a blessing, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit. Let us say, Amen. Misha Baruch, let us all have our spirits renewed. This is the great prayer for healing, in which we call upon God to heal as He has healed before. Misha Baruch, may He who blessed, His healing is a blessing. So let's all heal as we pray for renewal and show gratitude for the wonders of our lives. Remember, we're still in the week of self-examination, right? So keep examining yourself. And this week we're going to read Vayalech, and he went. Maybe. Now, why do I say that? Well, it looks like we're about to end the Torah on an error. This parsha is called Vayalech, and he went. Simple three-letter word. But it was probably Vayachel, another simple three-letter word. We had a simple transposition error of two letters. And that means, and he finished. And that seems to work better. And Moses went. Went where? He just told us he's 120 years old and doesn't move around so well. In fact, the Septuagint and Qumran texts have, and Moses finished speaking all these things. And he finished makes more sense. It may make more sense, but I've often been asked, how does it make sense that we're reading a parsha that's quite small? In fact, sometimes it's the second half of a two-part reading, and we're devoting the same time to this chapter, chapter 31 of Deuteronomy, as we will in 2 weeks, to read the entire creation of the universe, ending at Noah. Which do you think would be better to take time with? You know what? It's a given. There's so much in Bereshit, creation, Adam and Eve, the serpent, expulsion, Cain and Abel, first murder, and more. That alone is a year's worth of discussion, not a week. But there are great lessons here this week also, and every part of the Torah has something to say. You just got to find it. And one of the great things in this little week is some fantastic advice in Deuteronomy 31:6. Be strong and be bold. Don't be afraid. Don't be scared. Because the Lord your God, He is the one going with you. He won't let you down and won't leave you. And He is. He's always with you. When I say he, I mean he, she, it, whatever you believe. And as we have seen, this book is about overcoming fear. Friends, do not be afraid. We're reminded on so many occasions not to fear. How fear is our enemy, our Pharaoh. And we're reminded you're actually never alone. Are you lonesome tonight? Do you miss me tonight? Are you sorry we drifted apart? Does your memory stray to a brighter sunny day when I kissed you and called you sweetheart? Do the chairs in your parlor seem empty and bare? Do you gaze at your doorstep and picture me there? Is your heart filled with pain? Shall I come back again? Tell me, dear, are you lonesome tonight? You know what? You never have to be lonesome. We've seen this. It's a far from perfect book. We could be far from perfect beings, but we keep on trying. Now, as we've seen, there are errors in the writing, there's errors in understanding, there's errors in translation. And some parts have more errors than others. We have more errors, but we work on it. And we see in this section another error, but this one is in understanding. Deuteronomy 31:9, and Moses wrote this instruction and gave it to the priests, sons of Levi. We're carrying the ark of the Lord's covenant and to all of Israel's elders. Well, this instruction, the word instruction in Hebrew is Torah, does not refer to the entire 5 books. That came to be known as the Torah long after this chapter was written. Those who began claiming that Moses was the author of the entire Torah created much confusion and misinformation by claiming more from Moses than the Torah itself ascribed to him. It became a firmly established doctrine by the rabbinic period, and many great teachers, including Rashi and Rambam, followed it. Subsequently, Ibn Ezra raised subtle doubts about it. Spinoza openly challenged it, and Jewish as well as Christian scholars came to reject it completely in the 19th and 20th centuries. Orthodox Jews are almost the only ones who still accept it. The instruction that Moses writes here appears to be most of the law code that begins in Deuteronomy 12 and ends at 26, and it may or may not be understood to include the list of blessings and curses in Deuteronomy 28. And still another difference from what is written to what we do. Moses says, at the end of 7 years, at the appointed time of the year of the remission, on the festival of booths, when all Israel comes to appear before the Lord your God in the place that he will choose, you shall read this instruction in front of all Israel in their ears. Well, the biblical requirement was to read this Torah, which simply meant the law code of Deuteronomy, that small section, once every 7 years on the holiday of Sukkot. And of course, that holiday is coming up very shortly. But we've gone from that to reading the entire 5 books every year. And I bet a lot of you would like it to go back to what was intended. Except it hasn't been so bad reading the whole thing. Now, this scroll that Moses writes is actually lost for 600 years. This whole book was lost for 600 years, the Deuteronomy. And it's found during the reign of King Josiah in the 8th century before the Common Era. And it was King Josiah who instituted the practice of public reading of the Torah, which prevails to the present day, but has switched to be the entire 5 books. And then we get this huge prediction. It's actually an incredible one. Deuteronomy 31:16. And the Lord said to Moses, here, when you're lying with your fathers, this people will get up and whore after foreign gods of the land into which it's coming, and will leave me and break my covenant that I've made with it. And my anger will flare in it on that day, and I'll leave them. and I'll hide my face from them, and it will become prey, and many bad things and troubles will find it. So basically, when Moses is dead, the people will turn from God. They'll break the covenant pretty quickly. God will get pissed and hide his face from them. Now, that's a terrible thing. It's a parent turning away from their children. And the expression, hester panim, the hiding of the face, actually became a known idiom in rabbinic literature and in theological thinking to this very day. Friends, the Tanakh story moves from a time of extraordinary divine involvement, creation, the flood, personal contact, splitting sea, hearing God's voice at Sinai, to a time in which humans are left completely on their own. Humans are left not knowing if God exists or not. The Tanakh tells a story of a development from a world of direct communication with God to the world we have known ever since, in which the existence of God is a matter of faith or doubt or search. And why does God do this? Because I know its inclination. The flood story starts and ends with God's recognition that humans' inclination is toward doing bad. I won't curse the ground on account of humankind again, for the inclination of the human heart is bad from their youth. We saw that in Genesis 6:5. And the word inclination in Genesis 6:5, Yasher, only occurs twice in the Torah. There and here. We have come full circle. What we saw at the beginning, we see at the end. Here I stand with hand in hand, turn my face to the wall. If she's gone, I can't go on feeling 2 foot small. God may be hiding his face, but he's not hiding his love. Do not hide yours, especially in the season of forgiveness, my friends. Yes, the world is sacred, and so is everything in it. Express your gratitude, light a candle, make a wish. Celebrate your life and the lives of those you love. Share your feelings with them. Live free, honor your freedom. Be well, be happy, be blessed. Always be blessed. Share and honor the light and all who live in the light and continue to shine. Continue to send everybody you know goodwill and love. Pray for peace and freedom for everyone, and end to terror and hatred. Remember, friends, we are a community. We learn together, we celebrate each other, we love each other, we share this right together, men and women equally. So let's send out love, not fear. Send out peace, harmony, goodwill, and healing to all who need it. And please do learn to forgive. Learn to love, including yourself. Open your hearts, honor the relationships of your life. Tell those you love that you love them. Take advantage of the time you have and enjoy the journey. We take the twists and turns and the patterns that weave through the fabric of our lives in our effort to grow, to learn, to be, to love. So please do love. Now bless you all. Have a great week. Week of love and light, a week of peace, a week of miracles. Examine your intentions and use them to imprint your will on the universe, because we set in motion everything that happens in our lives. Our intention, our kavana, our cause, our effect, everything is linked. As I've said, you always have time to forgive and to be forgiven. You have the knowledge of what's good and bad, so acknowledge what you've done wrong to yourself, to God, and to any person you've wronged. Then ask forgiveness. Do so with sincerity, accountability, and vulnerability. Forgive those who've hurt you as you learn to be forgiving and compassionate, because the secret of forgiveness, compassion, and peace, my friends, is in acceptance. Can you accept yourself, other people in the world just as they are? Can you accept life just as it is without trying to control it? If you do, you can experience the peace that acceptance brings. So do not stop your journey. And keep on dreaming. Keep on being. Keep sharing. Keep shining. Keep teaching. Keep spreading joy and goodwill. Do not follow fear. Follow love. It's always in front of you. And remember to have faith. An unwavering adherence to principle, just as I have faith in the principle of love and all of you. Act with purity of heart and mind. Despise none. Defraud none. Hate none. Cherish all. Honor every child of God, every creature of the earth. May all people know peace in this year, and may you nurture kindness and love everywhere you go. Work to be present in the body, Expand the heart, quiet the mind, because the deepest source of real power lies in consciousness and the ability to be mindful, to be aware, to be present in all of life's circumstances. Make the most of your time in this life. Continue to touch and transform lives around you. You're never alone. You're forever blessed, and you have the ability to bring blessings to everybody you meet. Health, love, and renewal to everybody you come across. We're all energy, and energy cannot be destroyed. It can only be transformed. Friends, your words are your power to transform, to love, to bless. So be generous, bless others, and bless yourself. Love with the heart. We're all part of a greater whole. Embrace love, not fear, forgiveness, not anger, and be there for someone, because someone will always be there for you whether you know it or not. Continue to explore faith and belief, and never accept shame as a natural state. Whatever you feel others have felt, whatever you've experienced others have too, we share together. We learn together, we help each other. We are, each of us, trying to find love and acceptance and support. We all have or could have that special someone in our lives. So find them, tell them what they mean. And remember, you're never alone on your journey to your promised land. You're being watched out for, so always be kind. Keep forgiving those you need to forgive. Keep asking forgiveness from those you need to ask forgiveness of. Do not get caught in fear. Forgiveness comes from acceptance, and acceptance brings peace. And peace, my friends, can last forever. So as you get ready to be sealed in the book of life, remember you are loved. Even if he's not looking and you don't see him, God is there. You're never alone. Situations have ended sad. Relationships have all been bad. Mine have been like Verlaines and Rambo. But there's no way I can compare all them scenes to this affair. You're gonna make me lonesome when you go. Friends, join us for our Yom Kippur and Yizkor service, a memorial service next week. If you want a candle lit for someone, send me their name. And remember to greet your friends for the balance of this week. Kativa v'chatima tova. May you be inscribed and sealed for a good year. And I know you are. Send along the names and be inscribed. Shabbat Shalom. Have a great week. Celebrate love and blessings to you all. Take care.